Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first theater presentation here in the exhibit hall. This is Security is Important to Small Businesses Too. I'm Dave Padgett. I'm a product marketing manager for Microsoft, and I'm here with Josh Salmons, who is with Solace IT Solutions. I'll be talking to you a little bit about some of the security issues, and then Josh will come in with, he'll swoop in and tell us how to solve for all of those security issues. So let's get started. Now, if you just pay attention to the local media or to the national media, you might think that cybercrime is really only an issue for enterprise-sized companies, governments, because who do you hear about? You hear about the Home Depots, Target, Experian. You hear about all the big companies having security issues. But the thing is, no business is immune just because of their size. In fact, quite the opposite. We've learned that small and medium-sized businesses are more and more becoming targets of cyber attacks. Just last April, we did, Microsoft worked with YouGov, and we interviewed a number of small and medium-sized businesses, and we found that about a quarter of them, 26%, had already been the victim of a cyber attack. About a quarter of them had privacy violations, and about 1 in 5 had their trade secrets leaked out. And the Better Business Bureau did a similar study and found that the average cost of recovering from a cyber attack for a small to medium-sized business is about $80,000. And for a lot of small to medium-sized businesses, a loss of $80,000 could actually put them out of business. So this is a big deal. And in fact, more and more cyber criminals are going after the smaller guys. In the same study that we did with YouGov, I won't tell you the number because I don't have the stat exactly on the top of my head, but the vast, vast majority of those small and medium-sized businesses told us that they're pretty certain that they don't have all of their security bases covered. They know that. The bad actors know that, and so more and more SMBs really do need to pay attention to their security situation. So there are a number of things that small businesses can do. We're going to quickly, I'll touch on 4 common cybersecurity scenarios that you can take care of, you can address right away. Josh will go into a little more detail on them, but let's get into some of those scenarios right now. The first of these is taking a piecemeal approach to your security posture. Now, it's really tempting to build, layer on new technologies, new cybersecurity technologies, each time a new threat comes into existence. But what that really ends up with is you end up with too many products that aren't integrated, so they don't work well together. So you've got, every product has its own dashboard, every product has its own controls, its own alerts. And you're left with a situation that even if you have someone on staff who pays attention to all this on a daily basis, which a lot of SMBs don't have the luxury of, but even if you do, this doesn't give you a holistic view of the security situation you're in. It doesn't give you an easy way to effectively resolve these situations. So there's just too many products, too many vendors, not enough integration. So what you should do is you should look for products that do work together. They're designed to work together. Find a technology solution partner who collaborates with others in the security industry to make sure that they're getting the best information to you, the small business owners and operators. The second scenario I want to talk about is unsecured personal devices. Now, if you're like most small businesses, just like large businesses, you've got several different areas where people access your data. You've got the PCs in your office. You've got employees who use their home laptop. They use their smartphones. You've got tablets out in the field. Each one of these endpoints is a potential vulnerability for you. The bad guys are out there looking for every one of these endpoints so they can see which one they can break through on. In fact, 60% of all breaches stem from a compromised endpoint such as that personal smartphone that your employees are using to access their data. So a couple ways that you can help to remediate this is identity. Identity first. Make sure with identity and access management, this eliminates the complexity of multiple user credentials by giving each of your users one unified set of secure credentials to log into your network. Multi-factor authentication. It's that extra layer of protection so that in addition to your password, your employee needs some second set of authentication, whether it's a fingerprint, facial detection, or a text sent to a mobile device. It's that second layer of protection. So that was unsecured devices. What about your data? You really need to keep your data protected. Anytime that you as a small business send out data outside your organization, whether it's financial data to your CPA, it's communications with your attorney, it could be you're communicating with a customer and it's their financial, or it's their information that you're communicating about. That data is leaving your premises, so you need to really take a data-first approach to security. Categorize your data. The data that's most important, most impactful, you need to be able to categorize it as being confidential. Once you've categorized it, make sure you automate that categorization so that as the data, as the documents are being created, if they contain that confidential, highly important information, have that automated so that if it does leave your organization, it's flagged as confidential, it's encrypted, it's whatever the situation calls for. Really control that access, restrict access to that super critical data. And fourth, this is one that I hear about all the time when I go out and talk with small business owners. They say, Dave, I know I should be concerned about security, but I really don't even know where to start. I don't know what questions to ask. I don't know where I'm not, I don't know if I am secure or not secure. You work at Microsoft, tell me that I am secure. That's kind of what they want. Well, more than just me telling them that they are secure, that you should take these steps. Identify where you're at risk. How do you do this? There are many security profile tools that are available online. Work with a Microsoft vendor, Microsoft partner, to, they can help you to figure out what your security situation is. Also, Office 365 customers have access to a tool called Secure Score. This is a great tool that gives you a numerical score based on how many of your security tools you're actually using. But equally as important is it gives you recommendations for what steps you should take next. What tools do you have available through your Office 365 subscription that you're not taking advantage of yet, and helps you to turn those on? So you've identified you're at risk, you've taken steps to remediate, your work's still not done. You need to periodically come back, review your security situation, review the tools available to you, and make those changes. Benchmark yourself against other companies similar to you, learn about best practices, and continue that ongoing process of making sure you're secure. So now, I've scared you, I've told you all the things that could happen, I've told you there's ways to resolve it. I'll now turn this over to Josh from Solace, who will then be able to, he'll show you some of the ways that you can actually resolve these. Josh?
Cool. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. So let's fix all these problems Dave just talked about. And Microsoft's done an amazing job with the new product. It came out last year, Microsoft 365 Business. This product is it's a holistic approach to the entire small business that keeps it all protected. Essentially, it starts off with your productivity. If you've had Microsoft or Office 365 Business Premium, that's what this is. It's your Office application, so on and so forth. Everybody's familiar with that. They bolted on a lot of advanced security features. They've added Azure Information Protection. They've added Advanced Threat Protection. They've added parts of Intune to manage mobile devices and make everything secure and keep everything all under essentially one roof. So how do we kind of focus on the security pieces of that? How does that help us? So to safeguard our data, there's a few things we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on protection of the actual threats. How do we keep them from coming to us? How do we keep data from leaking outside the organization? And how do we actually have data access? How do we control access to that data for it to be able to access inside and outside of our organization? Protection from threats. A few things called safe links. Safe links is advanced threat protection that is actually scanning every link that comes into your email. Every link in your email is rewritten, so it checks against the advanced threat engines in real time. No matter which device, no matter where you're at, you click the link, it checks against that. Safe attachments. Safe attachments kind of is advanced heuristics for looking at the email. So we've done some testing where we take some zip files and we kind of throw some Word Office docs in, and then a couple of garbage files in there as well. And what will happen is when that attachment comes in, safe attachments will actually pull that apart and pull out those garbage documents or those garbage links that are in there, the attachments that make that not safe for your computer. And then there's a lot of things that kind of are built into Windows that get monitored for ransomware protection and all that. So I had that demo slides in there a little bit by accident. We're going to kind of do the demo at the end here. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys this real quick, and then we'll go through the demos at one time. So let's protect from data leaks. How do we keep data from leaking out of the organization? There's things like policy tips that we can put in that says, if there's this type of data is leaving out of the organization, let's put a policy tip up to show that it's going outside the organization. Give notification to the end user that they're having it. You have options also like BitLocker. BitLocker is extremely important. I have a customer that is on this particular product, and they left their one of their sales guys left their laptop on the on an airplane. Right? They were freaking out. They were like, "Oh, my company data's on there. What do I do?" Right? So his BitLocker's on there, so we can encrypt that data with BitLocker, so it keeps it from actually leaving the organization. And here's another one. This slide right here has a very big point on it at the very bottom, which is really important, and that you can manage all of your devices. iOS and Mac support is supported to manage Mac devices with this product now. There is documentation out there on docs.microsoft.com that gives you instructions on how to use that and configure that for your Macs to manage those with the product as well. And the last one we have here is how do we keep control of data, right? We're going to control it by using physical controls such as fingerprints, and forcing fingerprints and passwords on our devices. We're going to have the ability, for example, in our example I told you a few minutes ago, the customer we had that lost the device, we sent a signal to remotely wipe that device. And the great part about that is that yes, we wiped the device, but it was a company device, so we factory reset. But if that device was a BYOD device, as a personal device, we can send that signal to only wipe just the company data. It doesn't affect the personal data on the device. So you have that capability as well. And then you have options to kind of keep the data access in with like some tags for documents and encryption, and automatic encrypt documents that are leaving your organization based on certain rules. And then you have options to where you can't even forward the document out of the actual organization itself. So let's kind of jump in here and take a demo real quick. Bear with me 1 second here. Let's take a peek at a few of these things. So the first thing I want to show you guys is the safe links. Okay, so I've got an email here from Mr. Gabe Long, and essentially what it is this is how the safe links actually works. If I hover over this link in this email that he's talking to me about booking some flights, you see here where you have NA01 safelinks.protection.outlook.com. That's showing me that URL has been rewritten, and it will check against the ATP engines. So this is the real link, though, spam link, katoso.com. So if I click on this, it's going to actually take me out, and it's going to shut me down. I'm not going to be able to go to that link, no matter what that actually says. So that's how the safe links works. No matter which device, no matter when it comes in, it's live and keeping me protected, keeping my users protected. The second thing I want to show is safe attachments. This is an example of an email that actually my wife sent me one day. She calls me up, she says, "Hey, I got an email, it's super funny. I don't know if it's something I need to do." She's in real estate, and they're referencing some property on a road. She's like, "I don't know if it's something I need to do or not. So can I send it to you and you look at it and see if this is something real?" Okay, I said sure, send it over. So she sends it to me, and this is what I get, right? Like the engine didn't even let it come to me to see if it was safe or not. It automatically blocked this. So if I look at this attachment here, it tells me that it's blocked, and it gives me the information on why it blocked it. I see here that it's got you know, the information on the vulnerability here of why it actually blocked this. As an admin, I could turn around and go look at that and whitelist this document or do some administrative task with it, but on the front level of an end user, it's blocking this information from coming to me. The next thing I want to show is kind of in reference to kind of keeping data leakage from leaving the organization. So we've got a few things here. We've got some policies. So these are some of the policies that are built into the Microsoft 365 business. And here's one of the policies. This is an iOS policy that's in the product, right? So here's a few things that we want to show. One of the things we talked about was being able to protect these devices. So I've got requiring my PIN number. The big one here is actually keeping a copy of the content and not letting it being saved to the third-party apps. So for example, if I have a sales guy, right, maybe he's thinking about leaving my organization and he has all my sales documents, this will prevent them from taking and saving documents that come from email or OneDrive or SharePoint and saving them into third-party, maybe file applications or third-party mail applications or native mail applications to send it out and forward it outside the organization. I'm keeping my data from leaving the organization. That one is a very important one for those type of applications. The other policy that I think is really important that I want to show is a Windows 10 policy here. So this particular Windows 10 policy, bear with me one second here, it's device protection. So what I can see here under device protection, I've got a few things I want to point out. I want to point out the first one, which is Windows Defender Antivirus. I'm forcing this on the machine. Administratively, I do nothing other than set up this policy. I do this for all my users. My standard policy for all of my users has, we're forcing antivirus. We're forcing Windows Defender. Administratively, I do nothing else. The next person that gets this, that gets a PC, they log in, they automatically get this policy. They see that it's forced onto their machine. The other one that I really like here is forcing BitLocker. I see here that I'm forcing BitLocker on all my machines. So administratively or as an end user, there's nothing else I have to do to set up BitLocker for my end users except for check this box when they log in. So what this kind of couple things it looks like, if you look at the Windows Defender, if I pull up the Windows Defender Security Center and I look at just my virus threat protection, right? So if I come here to my settings and I look, everything's managed by the administrator. There's nothing for the end user to do. We're forcing that and these policies on them that's being backed by Windows Intune. It's forcing it to those machines. The other one I want to show is kind of the ransomware protection. This is ransomware protection about controlling folders and control, you know, from ransomware. This is also being forced on by the policy as well. All right, so next we want to move on to kind of how the data is actually controlled. Let me check on my time. I got a couple more minutes here. So one of the things I want to show is some of the policy tips. So for example, this is an email that I want to send, right? So I've actually got this email and I've classified it. So you see here under protect, I've got this protect icon. I can come up here and protect, and I've set this up, configured this to be a finance, right? So I've got, maybe this is new product pricing. It has to be approved by our finance group. So I tag this as finance, and as you see here, the rules that we have in place, I've got some policy tips here. It says the following recipients outside of the organization. I'm outside of my particular tenant. It's not going to prevent it from going out, but it's going to let me know that it's actually there and keep it from going out. The other thing I have here is actually a confidential note here, right? It's saying that this contains financial information that's restricted to employees only. So what's kind of cool is even if I go here and I try to send this mail, goes right out. Excuse me, I'm sorry. What'll happen sometimes is it'll actually pop up and tell you, it'll say, hey, this is going to encrypt this document anyway. This email is going to be encrypted based on those rules and that are set up there. So, is there anything else? Excuse me. The last thing I want to show is just kind of another easy thing to kind of keep data protected, and that's essentially just, a do not forward. This is something new that's in Outlook 2010. I've got do not forward here, anything that wants to go out. Simple button now. That used to be a bunch of configuration, custom macros and things. Now it's a simple button there. You hit do not forward, doesn't allow that document and that data to leave the organization. That's pretty much running up on time. I would love to talk to you guys if you have any additional questions moving forward. Again, I'm with Solace IT Solutions, Microsoft partner. I'd be more than glad to answer any questions that you guys have. And please do your session evaluation. And you guys have a great conference. Thank you.